Down in the Endzone, we had sufficient time and resources to educate ourselves properly. But our children don't have this luxury. We ought to build a school and pass on what we've learned. As a result, they will be able to survive and work better and more effectively.
Absolutely, Arthur. We shall do as you command. Hello there, everyone. King Hedgehog here, and welcome back to Endzone, A World Apart. Alright, so let's continue here. Let's get that school built for the kids here. We have, whether or not yet in our village, I'm not too sure. So here we have the residential area and all the nice buildings. Down here we're doing all the construction, which is giving a negative boost. So we want to keep that nice in a way. Just like in real life, people do not like to live in the industrial areas. Alright, so let's get time sped up a little bit. We need to get that school ready and built. Plus, we need to assign ourselves a teacher. Right, there we go. All done. And the school is also about to be done. There you go. The school bell already rings. And again. Let's drive those kids mental. There we go. Alright.
Perfect. Besides the fact that educated children work more effectively, we'll also teach them to be more careful with their protective clothing and tools. This, in turn, leads to them staying intact longer, and we conserve valuable resources.
Absolutely, Arthur. You're right. All right. Good. Next.
Now that our population is starting to grow, we ought to again turn our attention to the topic of food production. We are already accumulating fish and tilling our fields. A gatherer's cabin will now enable us to gather mushrooms and berries from the forest nearby.
Okay, if you say so. I mean, I don't really think that food is an issue here, but sure. So I will take you and we'll leave a little bit of a path here in between. We'll put you right next to the forester's cabin. We'll need to chop down a couple of trees, but that makes sense because then I can also reassign your area to the same area here, just to make sure that we have always forest around where we can find all the berries and mushrooms that we want. Now we need to assign 2 settlers to be gatherers. There you go. They can already start with all of that. Hopefully they start early. And then by the time this is all nice and done, they should have their hands full of berries and mushrooms and everything else that is good for them. Alright, there we go. Now we're waiting for wood. If they would have been smart, they would have kept the wood here from the trees that they chopped down and just, you know, adjusted that as needed. But no, that's not how they work. They prefer to do it the long way. We do need to get some roads up and down as well, because they're walking quite a bit, and on roads they can walk a little bit faster and work a little bit more efficient. But alright, 17 scrap, there we go. Let's build that popsicle stand. There you go. Thank you very much. Alright, so all we now have to do is wait for them to start producing berries while we are at it, and he's already working on the berries, which is good. Let's get you assigned to right about here. There, that gives you about the same range as the... Oh, look at that. It's not far off. That makes about sense. Alright, so we'll wait for you to bring in 20 berries or 20 mushrooms. Didn't take you too long, though. And I don't think food production is a problem because we have stock for 5,000. There's 5,039 in store.
Very
and there we go.
As you can see, the gatherer's cabin is an effective possibility to get food quickly. But watch out. After a drought, it's going to take some time before the plants have regrown. As is the case with most buildings, here too, you can relocate the working area at any time.
Oh yes, Arthur. Thank you.
Although we are sufficiently supplied at the moment, our survival depends on diligent planning. If we can lay out a plan for an orchard, then we can start to plant fruit or nut trees that we can harvest after a few seasons.
Thank you. I'm not sure what kind of English that was, but I am pretty sure that Arthur will forgive us. Alright, so we need to build ourselves an orchard. And I think I'm going to do that right here, so we have it close to the rest of the fields. Now, the problem at the moment is, though, it is dry. It is dry pretty much everywhere, including here. So I'm not sure why it is not listed as a drought, because it is... okay, it is dry instead of dried out, but still means nothing is growing. Now, I will make that orchard. Let's find you there. And we will leave 4 blocks in between, and we can make that... we'll just make it a 10 by 10 as well. 8 by 14. Yeah, there you go. We'll just do it like that because we will have the irrigation system, etc. coming in as well at a later stage. I want to be able to put that right here so it can supply water to all of that. All right. Speed up time. And let's get an additional farmer assigned. I know it only says 2, but we already have 2 fields. Oh, there we go. And the 2 fields is pretty much everything that we need. Now, the last thing that we need to do is we need to assign a seed. The only thing we can assign at the moment is going to be a plum.
The
we don't have
orchard
anything
has
else.
been laid out, and the trees are already beginning to grow.
Not really.
Similar to crops for farming, trees need some time until they are fully grown. But once they have grown, they can be harvested again and again until they have to be newly planted.
Well, that's usually like that. No, you can harvest them until they need to be newly planted. The other funny thing is, like crops, they need water.
Our gatherer's cabin gathers food from the surrounding forests. However, there are any number of other plants there which we can use as well. These plants can be gathered by an herbal hut. The herbs gathered there can be consumed by settlers to replenish their health.
Okay, so let's get that herbalist hut here, and we'll just flip it around and put it right in front of the other gatherer's huts. There we go. And let's assign a herbalist. And there we go. See? Just like that. We're making good progress. Alright, let's speed up the time again. Well, let's have a look. How are we doing here? I mean, we're making some pretty good progress here. And as I said last time as well, I absolutely love all the graphics and how they're using basically the old materials in order to build all the buildings. And it's not like they're making it look all nice and fancy. It's literally here from all sorts of scrap and parts and pieces that they found lying around, for example, here. And that is what they banged together in order to make, well, all the houses and all the workstations and all the buildings that they need. Alright, what do we need? We need some more wood, scrap, and then we need to build it. Alright, chop chop guys, we have a job to do. Let's get this rolling. Yes, build it, buildings. There you go. Alright, so now what we need to do, we need to wait for them to produce 20 herbs. Now, we're going to do the same thing again here, and that is reassign it to pretty much this area. Makes about sense. I mean, it's a little bit further out than that, but there's not too many herbs around here, nor in the water, ironically enough. Who would have thought there's no herbs growing in the water? Alright, now, you bring in 20 herbs, and then we are going to get an additional 20 herbs as reward. Oh, not really.
Well done. We
Seeing
can
anybody?
equally utilize the gathered herbs to convert them into medicine later on. It might happen that an illness breaks out in our settlement from time to time and spreads among our settlers. That's why we always ought to have enough herbs on hand.
Okay, understood. Clear.
Radiation is the main reason why the health status of our settlement can decrease. Although our settlers already use protective clothing to shield themselves against environmental radiation, it might occur that our sources of water become contaminated. We should start to filter our water to prevent this from happening. We will need a great deal of charcoal to accomplish this. The charcoal kiln will burn wood to produce charcoal.
Copy that. So now we need to build ourselves a charcoal kiln. And look at that, how that fits exactly in here. Right there. See, we have the pathway going here. And look at that, it's nice, it's beautiful. It works exactly the way we want it to. And what do we also need to do? We need to assign somebody here to the charcoal burner. There you go. And we need to produce 2 coal. Alright, do we have enough wood? Production limit 500. We have 503. 34 is reserved for right here. Look at them. Coming straight here from across, and that is coming straight from here. Of course, that is going to be one of the fastest buildings ever. Now, let's get our charcoal burner in there. Close this so we have a nice open view. Now, let's have a quick peek here. How we're looking. Look at him. Walking in there with his logs. and then the logs magically disappear. And he goes here inside his hut, and I assume that he's going to start burning. Yes, production is well on the way there. Alright, there we go. Those are going to be the first 2 charcoal that we have produced. There you go.
We can use the charcoal in conjunction with a filtration system to purify our water. Unfortunately, our cistern is not able to do this. Only the water tower has the necessary equipment for this capability.
So why did you make me build a cistern first?
It would be a disgrace if we had to demolish our trusted cistern just to erect a water tower in its place. What we ought to do instead is upgrade the cistern itself. A water tower can store much more water and provides workplaces for a lot more water carriers than our old cistern.
All right. You say so, buddy. All right, so assigned settlers, 3 out of... Well, we already have enough. Recycler's been built. Yes. What do we need? Upgrade, instruct recycle to produce plastic. We already did, and we already have 32. Look at that. We are well ahead, so now we can tell them to upgrade it. Alright, it only takes 12, so there you go, guys. Now build ourselves that beautiful water tower. Oh, they just built something on top. Alright, I like. And now it is a water tower. Alright, and now we need to assign more water carriers. Alright, that's okay. There you go.
Our new water tower is up and ready for action. Good work. Filtering the water is an important next step because clean drinking water is a key mainstay of any stable society.
Yes. Hopefully we're going to get some rain very, very soon because there's not a lot of water left. Right.
Let's begin with filtering our water. To save on charcoal, we ought to ensure that at least a little bit of water not contaminated by radiation is being stored in our water tower. Water gained from a well is never contaminated by radiation, so it suggests itself for that purpose. Then we can use the remaining charcoal to produce better protective clothing.
Alright, so we need to build a well. Now, it doesn't really make sense because it is dried out pretty much everywhere. But let's build ourselves that well. Yes, and I can build it pretty much anywhere. So how about we build it right about here? Well, technically, we should build it right on this line, there. That's the one, right? Follow along, there. Alright, so that should be the one. We'll build it right there, just to make sure that we also have water here for the infiltration system. Well, for the filtration. Wow. For the irrigation system. My head, use your words. I mean, I know you're flapping about and spitting out all sorts of words, but nothing that is actually mildly interesting. Alright, we need a well keeper. We have a well keeper, and now we need to activate our filtration system. There you go. Wells and electric water pumps. Oh. Oh. Oh, so we need another one, huh? So we'll put it right here. Maybe. I think that's the line. Alright, we'll put it right down there. We'll have another well. Because apparently this one is good for around this area. But not for here. Alright. Didn't know it had to be within this circle. Doesn't really make sense, but... Alright, so that is all on. That is all done. Now we need to instruct the tailor shop to make activated carbon masks. Now the tailor shop was somewhere around here. Oh yes, somebody told me this, and this was a brilliant suggestion. Resources, tailor shop here. I can click there and it will show me the next tailor shop. Yes, yes, see, look at that. Okay, activated carbon mask, that is done. Now we need to wait for him to produce 2 of those. Alright, so we have time for that, and in the meanwhile we can have a quick peek as to how this works. Can we already do logistics and make a road? No, we cannot. Alright, so we have to wait for that to open up. It's a pity, because I would have liked to start laying down some of the foundations of the roads, but we'll just wait for this here gentleman right up here to produce whatever needs to be produced. He needs to have 2 cloth and 2 charcoal. I think we have enough charcoal. Might actually assign an additional person here just to speed it up a little bit. One of them is running around and gathering all the materials, and the other one can then actually start sewing it all together. So we get the activated carbon masks. Wow. Oh yeah, both of them are running around there. But one is slightly faster. There you go. Okay guys, now you got all the junk that you need. You're going to be making 4 of them at the same time, which is okay. We have plenty of people. We still have 8 settlers running around with no dedicated tasks. Nice. Now we can close this one. We'll see it pop up whenever it is ready.
Good work. We are continuously taking steps towards being better and better equipped to be able to survive in this hostile environment. Filtered water is a precious asset. And later on, we can even use it to irrigate our fields. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Alright, so there's some rain going on here, which is good. See, there you go. It is now all becoming wetter and wetter. Our fields, though, yes. Down, rain, here. Down. Yeah, the rain was like, you know what? Let's go everywhere except where he wants it. Alright, that's okay, though. Okay, Arthur, sorry about that.
Not only our water can become a hazard for our settlers due to radiation, our food can too. We ought to...
Yeah, we ought to erect a decontamination post to prevent settlers from eating meals that are contaminated with radiation. Alright, decontamination post. Now, do you have any negative power consumption? 150, but there is no negative reach to it. Perfect. So I will chuck you here on this side. And we will try to keep our food production on this side here. Or I could actually chuck you here. And we keep all of our food production up there. Which is even better. Look at you. Thinking all ahead. Nice. Alright, so let's speed it up. And then we need to have a decontaminator. Alright, let's give you 2. We've got a couple of people still spare. There we go. We got some rain, is it? Oh, nice. Alright, so we can actually start working on it. You get the trees in there. Let's get the layover gone. Yes. You I can click. You I cannot, or... Oh. Died of old age. Can somebody go and pick up Tony? Alright, we shall ignore that. Decontamination post build 0. Well, they're working on it. They had to chop some trees first. And the scrap needs to come from all the way the other side of the city. Well, but it's going to be a big city eventually. All in due time. Alright, so wood is on the way. Scrap is hopefully on the way. There you go. Now we need a little bit more wood, a little bit more scrap. We need some plastic. And we have all of that. 26 plastics ongoing. We've got 48 metal, which is good. Now people are not too happy at the moment. They're content, but nothing out of the ordinary. So let's continue all of this.
Very
there
good.
We go.
The decontamination post is going to supply all buildings that stockpile food and are located in its working area in order to purify the food that has been affected by radiation.
Perfect.
It's true. We should never forget that even when we optimally prepare and protect ourselves, we're still going to lose friends and members of our family time
Yeah, Tony's
and
right
again.
there.
We're going to mourn them, come what may. But if we're able to bury them in a cemetery, Then we'll get over the pain and let them rest in peace.
Well, either that or in pieces, but sure. Let's build the cemetery. Well, I don't really want to build it right there in the middle of where we want to expand our city to, which is going to be in this direction. So we'll probably just chuck it down here. Build ourselves a cemetery. There you go. Oh, it is a big boy, huh? Well, right there seems to be about the right place, I would assume. And we'll take a mortician. Yeah. Pretty much think that is needed. Can somebody now go and pick up Tony? He's still there. Come on, I start to feel sorry for the guy. I mean, he's going to be decomposed in a minute. You guys working on this? Alright, almost there. There you go. Start building it so we can pick up Tony.
Okay. The cemetery will help us to quickly get a hold on ourselves and focus on the tasks that lie ahead. It's not a pleasant thought, but that's the way things are. At the very least, we're pioneers, aren't we? Maybe we ought to distract ourselves to lighten up the mood.
Yeah, well, pretty much. We got
We
Virginia
can
up
erect
here.
a number of buildings to increase confidence in our settlement, including, for example, a campfire or a pub. In this situation, however, our best option would probably be to upgrade our town center. Settlers can visit the new town center, and by doing so, increase their confidence for a while.
Alright, so yeah, definitely will do that. But can somebody go and pick up Virginia? She's right up here. How about Tony? Tony, you still there? Or did we pick you up? Oh, somebody picked up Tony. Somebody picked up Tony. Good work. Good work. Oh, look at that. Somebody also picked up Virginia. Where are you? Oh, there we go. Alright, so Virginia and Tony now have been put to rest here at the cemetery. People can go there to mourn them. All good and well. I was worried about that. And the other dead? Oh, there's another one here. Christina also died of old age. Now we wish to catch a fish, so juicy sweet. Alright, that's okay though. She'll also be picked up very, very soon. Yeah, that's not what the tasks. Task. Mounted bus built. Oh yeah, we needed to upgrade this thing. Alright, so we have all the wood, we have all the scrap, of course, because you're the storage area, and I'm still pretty convinced that there's a massive bunker underneath. Because you have 5,000 food, 200 odd wood in there. I'm pretty sure...
Very good. The new town center not only gives us more storage space, at the same time, it functions just like a campfire, too. Settlers can visit the new town center, and by doing so, increase their confidence for a while. Now that we have made efforts to ensure the spiritual well-being of our settlers, we ought to attend to their physical health as well.
Ooh, we need to build a gym?
Our settlers can get sick from time to time. Settlers who have become infected with a disease can die from it if they're not treated. Settlers will go to a medical facility to have themselves treated and will be admitted there, provided that beds are still available. We ought to ensure our settlers' medical health care.
Am I the only one who reads the medical facility here within brackets? Medical facility. Alright, there we go. So we need to build ourselves a medical facility. I think there's only one place we can build it. Don't know how big it is. Here. Exactly. Right next door to the cemetery. It's the only place that makes sense. I mean, they go there, they either get better or they kick the bucket. They kick the bucket, they go across the street, and they can take their rest. Permanently. But, nevertheless, they can take it. And what do we also need? We need to have ourselves a medic, but we don't have more people. We need more people. Can you guys get happier? Can we throw a party? There's no workers here. Alright, so let me reduce a little bit here. We have enough water. Do we have enough water? Oh. 'Cause Alright, so we have some water here, but not amazingly much. We have quite a bit of water in here, which is okay. Here we have nearly a full tank. So we're actually not doing that bad. So let's reduce a water carrier and make you a medic. Then we will reduce one of these. I can turn you off, right? There. I can turn you off. I only need one well keeper now, which is the extra person that we need. We reduce one of the builders. We only need 3 at the moment because we're not building too much. We're waiting for all of these people to... Ooh. Alright, so there's plenty more to be done. Alright, medical facility being built. Clear the building area. There's only one spot left. What do we need to do? We need to chop some wood. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Nearly done. Right, how are we looking now with people? I think pretty good. Now, we did lose 3 people who were... or 5. Oof. We lost quite a few people in the meanwhile. Right, so the next one is Lisa. Lisa is now an adult, which is great. So we've got 3 people which are unassigned, which is good. Now, and this is nearly going up again. We are looking okay when it comes to food. How is our hunter doing? Hunter. Scrapyard, do we have a hunter? Gatherer's cabin. Horses lodge. Herbal. Do we have a hunter? Wait. Food. We don't have a hunter yet. So they have berries. So basically they have fish and veg. I mean, I'd be peeved with that as well. That's not really cool organization. Alright, so we need to produce 5 medicine. Let's get an additional... not herbalist, medic. Here. Oh, stop that. There we go. Alright, speed up times. It looks really, really dodgy like this though.
With this step, we have ensured the survival of the settlement for a while. Very good work. Since more and more children are being born these days, we should start to plan for the long term.
Oh, I absolutely agree on that.
While cabins are a good way to get settlers to start a family, they only provide limited space. This can quickly lead to people having to live on the street. Allow me to suggest to you that cabins be provided only in a very targeted manner in order to control the population growth of your settlement. Nothing is worse than not having enough resources to provide for everyone. We ought to build a shelter to be able to provide other inhabitants with a roof over their heads too.
And dear Arthur, may I question you from solely, let's say, an HR perspective? How exactly are we going to do the dividing of the ones who get a cabin and who get a shelter? Is it an okay, you peed me off today, no cabin for you. If you want to do the nasty, hook up with the lady in the bushes at the back. Alright, so what we need to do is build a shelter. There. And we're going to get 10 people. Ooh, this is a big boy though. Yeah, I think I'll just put it down here. You are not reaching there, that is good. You are though. I think you should be fine. You are gatherer's cabin, resources, food, gatherer's cabin. Do you have a minus? No, you don't. Okay, so we're absolutely fine there when it comes to attractiveness. Just need to keep an eye on that. We are all doing well. Now, I do think that we need an additional charcoal kiln. So let's put another kiln right next to it. Well, we can. Resources, kiln. Yeah. Let's get an extra kiln because he did tell us that we need a lot of charcoal. So might as well make sure that we have enough of those. We have another charcoal burner somewhere along the line. Decontaminator can go back to 1 because I don't think we need 2. We don't have any decontamination kits. And charcoal burner, there you go. Alright. We have no more settlers. We have more people die. Oh wow. Can people stop dying that much, please? Alright, now let's get this rolling so we get this thing built. And we'll reduce one of you guys so somebody else can help running with stuff up and down again. Food-wise, we're looking absolutely fine. I would like to actually keep a little bit more water. So let's do it this way around. Alright, there we go. Now, that ought to give us 10 additional people. Alright, very good. Remember that when children grow up, they're going to leave their parents' house and look around for a new place to live. It might happen that they don't find any home at all. We ought to build a shelter to be able to provide all inhabitants with a roof over their heads. We just did.
I've already pointed out to you that it could become very dangerous if we were to run out of food at some point. Since a lot of people are going to be living in the new shelter, we ought to provide them with access to food in their vicinity. A hunting lodge can look for wildlife in the surrounding area to bring a little meat to the menu.
Yes, and I think I'm going to be building another one. So we have one for all settlers and one for the old and infertile. Just to make sure that they don't occupy the other cabins, because that's where we want to get the kids from, right? Look at that. Bang! 9. Let's do this. Alright, what do we need to do? Build a hunting lodge. Sweet. I like that. There we go. Let's get that thing out. We will build you there on the corner right there. There we go. Yeah, we do need to chop a little bit, but that's kind of okay. You need charcoal, right? Yeah. And you... Okay, they're working on that. Perfect. Now, we do need to assign a hunter. Let's assign 2 of those straight off the bat so we can get all of that done. Adults is definitely growing up. We've got 8 children. They are all nice and happy, which is great. Now, if he could hurry up and get us some food, that would be very much appreciated. And then also the extra kiln, because it definitely helps us out. Alright, so food, we're looking good. What is the extra shelter going to cost us? Where was that? Here. Housing, shelter. How expensive are you? 52 wood, 72 scrap, 10 cloth. Number of max inhabitants, 25. That's okay. We will build you right about there. If you're a little bit unhappy with your surroundings, etc., I don't care. You are going to be for the old and infertile. We do not give a flying fish about you, because you're either going to die or you're not going to provide us any kids and then die, so sucks to be you, matey. Alright. That was so rude. Okay, that's the forester's lodge, that's the recycler workshop. Metal tools. Can we assign an additional person? We can. Alright, let's speed it up. We need to get more tools. Okay, so we've got a couple of building projects going on. Let's speed up the time a little bit, because it takes quite a bit of time to get all that building done. There we go. There we have the additional charcoal kiln. Perfect. 3 and 3. Burning. Alright, now I did put it up to 6 builders. Don't need that. We can leave it at 3. Already have a couple of hunters. Alright, and there we have more kids. Yay! How many people living here? 25 out of 25. Oof. Looks like we don't have enough space. Yeah, you are going to be for the old and infertile. Let's see how many people move in here straight off the bat. We have another couple of people kicking the bucket. There we go. Alright, how many people moving in? Very old adult. Nathan and Sophia. You're a charcoal burner. No, you can't kick the bucket. We need you. Turning trash into gold. This badge is awarded for predominant work in the profession of refiner. That's how you call it. All good by me. Okay, guys. Now, here at our town center, bit of a peek. Yep, we're looking all good. Okay, guys, now that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, please do remember to hit that like button and do let me know if you want to see more here of Endzone or World Apart. Pretty much enjoying this game. And I want to have a look where it goes and how it takes us before we're going to have a look, because I know that there's a couple of expansions that have recently released or will soon be releasing, but we're going to have a look into that not before we have completed this. So thank you for joining, and I'll see you guys here in the next one with more Endzone, A World Apart, episode number 3.